Welcome back to Satisfactory Update 6. My name is Nilaus, and today we have a solution to a problem. It's an alumina solution. And sometimes, simple is better. And particularly us content creators, we have a tendency to make things big and overly complicated. And in this case, well, let's just hack together some sloppy alumina, whatever. I'm going to say aluminium. So feel free to comment in the comment section that Fixit is an American corporation, and therefore it should be pronounced aluminum. But I'm not going to do that. So anyway, we are now heading out to a location, and if you want to see a big aluminium plant, then I have that, and I'm going to link it right now, so you can look at that. That's 2,000 aluminium per minute, and that is pretty damn massive. It's from update 5, but everything is still the same. What I'm going to do here is something that when I unlocked tier 7 and 8, and I was like, I need just a little bit of aluminium. I need some casings, I need some sheets. The sheets, I need that for our I need the sheets for, what do I need the sheets for? I need the sheets for belts Mark 5, and I need the casings for pretty much everything that you need to build, including radio control units. So I have found this beautiful location. Why is this a beautiful location? Well, how about actually starting to make let's make one of those. Oh, I've got the circuit boards. Take 2. How about we make one of these a radar tower? Because that should show us what we have in the surrounding area. Boom. And we get all of these things, and we can now see what we have in the surrounding area. So let's have a look at what we want to do in terms of aluminium. We need to get to the casing and the sheets. Both of those require copper as well, but let's work our way from... let's work away from the casing. So I'm going to use this recipe with the copper. Why am I going to use the copper one? Well, because the other one needs copper anyway. So we do have to get some copper. So let's keep that in mind. I need some copper. Then we need the ingots. Ingots, we can do that in 2 different ways. We can do the annoying one that use silica, or we can do the simple one that doesn't use silica. This is slightly more effective, but this is so much easier. So we're going to do this because this is all about making a nice little module that'll just take care of the stuff we need for just general construction purposes. So this is the one. Then we go back to the scrap. Scrap can be done in 2 different ways, either from coke, which means oil, so no thanks, or from coal. Then so that's the one we're going to take. We're going to take the default one here, and then we're going to look at the alumina solution. And we have now another option here. We are going to take the one that's called sloppy alumina, and this is the reason why it's better is because it doesn't require, or it doesn't output any silica. And I know you can do a silica loop here, but I don't bother with that. I want the simple thing. So what we need inbound is we need bauxite, we need coal, and we need copper. So where have I located myself on the map? I've located myself in this lake right here, and this is the best place, in my opinion, to build a nice aluminium plant to start with. We have coal really close, we have bauxite really close, we have water underneath us, and we have a bit of copper up here that we have already claimed. So that is why I'm going to build it here. I'm going to build as small as possible because I want to show you that in this case it's really valuable. Build this one quickly and then move on to other things. I think that it's very tempting to sort of, when you get to aluminium, you think, okay, I'm going to make 2,000 of those, and then you spend 20 hours building a massive factory and you still don't have any of the stuff for example, the hovercraft here. Hover pack, not a hovercraft. So what we're going to do is the very first thing we are going to get here inbound. We are going to go start making the sloppy alumina. So all we need is water coming in and the alumina coming from up here. It is right up the ledge, so we can bring it in on these 2 belts here. Come on, there we go. It's up there. So this gives us 200. That's not much. Plus 200, and that gives us 240 outbound. Okay, next one. Here I will be doing the next. That is then the scrap. This is the scrap, right? This is the default recipe where we take coal. So it also is so fortunate that it's exactly the same ratio, 240 in, 240 out. The only catch here is this has water output, 120 water output, where this one has 200 input. So we're going to have to do a loop around, and I will show you how to do that so you can have it self-balance. Really neat. We're going to take the coal from here and loop it, bring it in here. So that's simple as well. This gets out to 360 aluminium scrap. 360 aluminium scrap can easily be done. Let's make it somewhere like here. Aluminium scrap is 60 to 30. So if we build 6 of these, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, then each of those will output 30 of those, and I can then go into the next part. Who forgot to bring cables? It's always the cables, isn't it? Is it because this one? Oh, this one stole 100 cables. All right, let me just get some cables. And now we have the cables. So we're going to build something at this location, and I'm going to build the Alclad aluminium sheets. And this will be 30 inbound, 30 outbound. All right, let's take 2 of those. We're going to have 120 to work with. So let's take 2. 1 into 1. That is here as well. So now we use 60. So we have now 120 left. Yeah, okay. So this, 120 left. Let's have a look at the other recipe, this one. And this is 150. So if we scale this down to there, then we're going to consume the remaining 120. And what we're going to get is, in terms of aluminium casing, we're going to get 90 aluminium casing. So if we just build it like this, what do we have? We have very, very simple build. That gives us 60 Alclad aluminium sheets and 90 aluminium casing. That is all you need in order to build pretty much anything, because while you're building and designing and stuff, it's just an accrue in a box, and you can take that box and make it into some radio control units if you feel like it. So what we need to do now is clean this up. Also, of course, we need to look at this. This is 10 copper plus 10 copper plus 60. So that's a total of 80 copper. So we're going to need over here, I think we'll put it out here, 1, 2, and 3 locations. These 3 locations will be for copper processing. And, well, now all we need to do is just make it a bit neater setup, and just so that everything is clear. Maybe it's not really clear. And this is as close to a recipe sheet that we can get. This is, and you can also take a screenshot if you want to copy this one into your own game. This is as close as we can get to a blueprint of here. So this explains exactly what we want to do. Let's build this up and in a bit better setup here. And as we have the sunrise coming up over our little factory, let's walk through how I've set it up, and we can then take a look and get it enabled. So what we have here is we have our sloppy alumina recipe, getting 240 out per minute, and in here take the 240 in and gets 360 aluminium scrap out. Let's take a look at the water supply for it here, because this will output 120 water on this line. So what I've done is I have set this one. I've set it to only pump at 80. So it doesn't overpump. It doesn't really need it, but what you really need is this one. You need a valve here for 80 cubic meters per minute. That's the throughput you want here. And on this one, we can have 300. We just need to make sure that this one doesn't backflow that way. We want to make sure that whatever comes out of this location, this refinery, can go on this pipe and will go in here. So this is the mixer, which will take 80 from this side and as much as possible from that side, which gives us 80 plus 120, and 200 will flow into this belt and go in here and fill it up again. So we can enable you, and that should be good for now. Then as it comes out, this will just transport the alumina solution, and then we come out here, we have 360 aluminium scrap coming out. This will go into a location that like this. It will go into the smelters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smelting on a row. What I'm doing is the first one will be going in a straight line into the assembler. Here, aluminium ingots into Alclad aluminium sheets. Those will go collected on one belt and be brought all the way back to my hub. And likewise the other one, which will now be much higher ratio. It's going to be working at 80% ratio, or 80%, and it'll be 120 plus 60 gives us 90 out. Super amazing. And that will need to have, since it's consuming 120, then it will be 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those are consolidated into a single location. Over on the side we have a little copper build, and we have the copper build coming up here. The copper build is coming in, and that will be going in here for the copper. 1, 2, 3, that'll give us 90, and we need 80 for this build. That goes on the top lane and goes merging in. So all of this is done. All we need to do now is go out into the wilderness up here to enable our, this is the location for our aluminium, this is the bauxite, and this is the location for our coal. So let's find our way back up there. So here we have a little aluminium or bauxite location. All we need to do now is hook it up. And what do we have here? This is set to 240 and we only need 200 for our builds. So let's find our way back to the coal, which is also prepared, and then hook that up. Here we have the coal, and I will just hook that up so it almost corresponds to the same line. We'll now be jumping down here and seeing the whole thing start up. Unfortunately, it's not going to start up immediately because we are missing the copper, which is coming in a bit. So let's actually just cut this, and go out and get the copper so we can see that it's coming in here. Looking glorious. We have the bauxite and the coal coming in. It'll stack up, but it'll wait, and then we'll go out and fix the copper so that can also come in. This is the copper location. We're already using it for our copper train, but you know, I think we can leach a bit more of this belt. And by adjusting a splitter, this belt will be upgraded to a Mark V belt as soon as possible so that we can get this. And this will now just need to be brought all the way home to our new aluminium, and then we should be able to see it online. While we're waiting for the copper to come in, we can use this opportunity to hook these up and see those come into action. Here, we will see here, and we are starting to make some alumina solution. Alumina solution is coming in, and it's now producing the aluminium scrap. And do we have the copper coming in? Yes, we do, and the copper is coming in. Let's hook it up. We got it here on this line, rushing in. Nothing will get made until we have the copper actually producing. So, whooshing in. And over here we have the scrap. Scrap is going into every single one of these. And of course it'll take a bit of time for the manifold pattern to actually balance, but it will get there. And we're starting to get the first copper ingots in here. So we get the first copper ingots. We are already now producing the first alclad aluminium sheets. That is amazing. And they are being whooshed back to the home base into the hub so we can grab them from there, because that's the whole point of it, is that we want them to have available at the hub. That's why we need to make this long belt all the way back. But it just makes it so much nicer, because that means from now on, if we want some belts, we can make Mark V belts. If we want to get some aluminium casing for radio control units, for blenders, for example, they need radio control units and they need aluminium casing. So we definitely want to have aluminium casing here. Now, the one thing that I know that you're looking at is like, now this is one of those damn ugly factories again. But you know, there is always a solution to that, and the solution is, of course, that we can just wish away our troubles and make a nice base. We'll probably go out here and then come back in. If we just move out here a bit, we'll do this. If we move out and then we jump up here and then turn around, then I think we should have a nice factory. So turn around, we have our factory completed. So this is the final product. Also colors are different, and this factory just happened to be a little cross form, so we lean into that, have the copper smelting in here, and things are coming neatly in here. I really wish this piece existed. This piece here, why does that not exist? I can't be the only one who really wants that piece to exist. Anyway, we get some nice glass roofs everywhere. Over here we have the two refineries. I always do, not always, but I really like this clipping, so that they sort of come up here, and this is now flush in line. Have the other parts come in here. This is the two refineries, go into the centerpiece, that way things are connected. We have our scrap smelting, and over here we have the little production for the final product, and then we sort of tie the whole thing together in the middle with a radar tower, so we can see what is going on in the surrounding area. All of the things, I mean, it's nice, but it's not really useful, is it? The fact that there's one of these, oh right, it is. It's one of those up here that needs like a quantum computer thing, so that's not happening. So there you have it. That is a very nice, quick little build for a very simple aluminium factory. Of course, if you want to make it bigger, don't wrap it up in a factory like this. But if you just need a bit of aluminium, then now you have 60 aluminium alclad aluminium sheets and 90 aluminium casing. ready for use for all of your future builds. And what I'm going to use it for is I am going to make an absolutely massive diluted fuel power plant. It should be heading towards 20 gigawatts of power is one consolidated build. So as this one was a nice quick little thing, then I'm going to go in the completely opposite direction and build the next build will be a mega factory build. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you do, you know where the like button is, I'm sure of it. And if you want to watch more or if somehow not subscribed, consider subscribing, of course. And if you want to watch more or be part of the design process, then come on over to Twitch. I'm streaming this on Tuesday, Thursdays and Sundays. So you are very welcome there. Until next time, take care. And as always, stay effective.